Hi everyone, we are live. This is Arsenal Fan Circle. This is season three, episode three, and Arsenal have won the Community Shield. We have beaten Liverpool on penalties, 1-1 draw after 90 minutes, and um, we were successful in the penalty shootout. Five brilliant penalties taken by our players. Reece Nelson, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Cedric, which I was a little bit worried about. I'm not going to lie, and David Luiz and Aubameyang, the captain, to finish off with. So I got Matt here, and I've got Glenn coming in with me. Hi, Glenn. How are you?
Hi man, long time, long time. I'm
Good.
so
Yeah,
sorry.
good to have you back, Glenn. Has been a little
Good,
while, right? And you've been
good.
doing bits with your channel as well, Glenn.
Yeah, luckily it's been going well, so I'll just take it from there as it comes. How are you?
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Are you excited for the coming season? Before we get into the analysis of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just because of yesterday. The way we ended last season, you had to be excited about next season. The players we knew are gonna come in, Arteta's effect, the way he plays his football, the way those other players that we wanted to leave are playing well. So definitely excited for next season.
Okay, so everybody watching, thanks for coming in, everybody. We are gonna bring in Gunded News here, and yeah, Glenn, I asked in chats who would get here first between Glenn and Gunded News, and you beat my here by a minute or two. So,
Yeah, man. Hi, Maya.
Good to see you, my brother.
Good to
all
see
right,
you
so
too,
for
man.
for everyone, this is what we're gonna get into. The first half is gonna be Arsenal Liverpool Community Shield. We are 2020 winners of the Community Shield. Um, a good second half. People in the comments are going to have their say. We're going to talk about Emmy Martinez and Ainsley Maitland-Niles and transfers, about what we really need maybe going forward. We're going to take a few questions that have been dropped in the Arsenal Circle box. So everybody watching, if you have questions each week, send me hashtag Arsenal Circle box. So it's pretty easy to remember. Circle box. And then we'll go from there. But Glenn, yesterday Arsenal's rebuild continued. Arteta um, got a team together with not very many training sessions and was able to put a decent team out there and be competitive against Liverpool.
Yeah, and the surprising thing was the kind of lineup we put out. I didn't expect that lineup to beat Liverpool. As soon as I saw the lineup and we didn't see Saliba, we didn't see Willian, we didn't see Pepe, Lacazette, Torreira, and all those other players who are not there. More than 10 players. I was like, that's when I started saying, yeah, it's just a friendly because I knew we were gonna lose, so it's just a friendly. But
Yeah, of course.
the,
If
yeah,
if you lose the game, it's just a friendly, and if you win it, it's another trophy,
a
right?
big it's a big trophy. But the way we played especially in the first half, I'll come back to that. The way we played in the first half, very very good, energetic, creating chances, something we never saw under Emery. We actually creating chance after chance from both wings, from the middle, switching wings, the ball from Saka to Aubameyang, that is switching wings. The way Bellerin got forward, the way Niles got forward from midfield, all that looked good. But the only concern for me is it still doesn't feel like we can play 90 minutes throughout the game. At the top level, we still can't do that. Last season, we saw it. The players got tired after 60 minutes. And
Yeah,
yesterday, we saw it too. The players were tired. Even Tierney was shattered by the 60th minute. So
yeah.
that's one thing.
Hopefully, Glenn, the excuse will be that preseason training has not been as um, easy for us, has not been fluid. It's not been a normal year. I think you tweeted something about 2020 can get out of here. We're
Yeah,
done
yeah,
with
yeah.
this year already.
It's terrible. It's
So
been terrible.
Ray Anderson, thanks for joining me finally on a live stream. DWTT, the Assembled, and a few others are in here. Andrew's here as well. So, evening, people. How are we feeling about the coming season? Let me know, everybody, in the chat. Second part of the podcast will be heavy comments from all of you. So, we're going to quickly get through everything. Ray Anderson's excited about the upcoming season. Why could we not be excited, May, here? We're seeing, as Len mentioned, the team put out. You're a little bit worried about Rob Holding and David Luiz as being your central defensive pairing. Um, you got El Neni and Granit Xhaka. Now, you know, I think you're on mute there.
That to me was a shock. Yeah, thought honestly. Okay, it's a nice second razor basically for the season. But other thing about that lineup, like geez, like Glenn just said now, like we were not expecting that. We wanted to see Saliba, but this is what's exciting. Tierney's first full season, Saliba coming in, Gabriel. Maybe that's our new combination going forward. From now on, that's going to be our back line, along with, unfortunately, Bellerin. But I mean, even Glenn, I hope he has a fantastic season, maybe like a breakthrough season. I was saying today.
Yeah. DWTT with time, Arteta has shown little improvements each week. So each week they're gaining a little bit, which when we look back are big changes. Looking forward to the season. But now it's all about Aubameyang signing that contract, Glenn.
On the team, right?
Yeah, I think Arsenal is the slowest team in like finishing up contracts and announcing them. I'm sure the Aubameyang deal was done a long time ago. I'm sure Gabriel was done a long time ago. Maybe even Thiago Silva from Chelsea is already done for the next 2 years, but we just take our sweet time to announce the deals. But I think he's gonna sign the way he played yesterday, the way the relationship he has with the likes of Martinez, Lacazette, Pepe, doesn't look like someone who's going to leave. So that's really exciting.
And as
Can't lose
Norma
him,
said,
can't lose him at all.
we can say that we won the double. And if only every month was August, we could get a trophy every month this season. Um,
Yeah,
Ainsley Maitland-Niles was cool as could be on his shot. I saw that his penalty, all of the penalties, Glenn, were very very crisp and perfect. Um, Allison didn't
especially
really have
David
much
Luiz.
chance.
Especially David Luiz, very very good technically.
Yeah,
I know all of you guys like Niles, but I'm still of the opinion of starting Bellerin ahead of Niles. I'm very sorry. And I saw something, a couple of things in that game with Niles. Is just like Ozil in terms of not shooting the ball. I saw him in front of the goal area like 3 or 4 times, but he didn't
yeah,
take the shot.
yeah.
So that is one thing he needs to work on. And obviously, as we've had before, his attitude and stuff, I still think he needs to improve some things in his game. We just can't say he's going to start next season, not for me.
Yeah. So Ainsley Maitland-Niles can be the utility player of this squad. He's a very valuable player. Mahir and I were on yesterday. We did a quick pre-game, and kudos to me. I predicted the game pretty much perfectly.
Mm.
1-1 draw. We take them to penalties, and you always have to go for Arsenal as a supporter. I thought we would win the game. That's what happened in terms of penalties, but I'm very happy that now the club is maybe thinking, Mahir, that Ainsley Maitland-Niles should stay at the club.
Yeah, I mean, as a utility player, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I mean, maybe he backed up since he said, those kind of things like, I don't play in this position. I would have loved for him to. I watched something earlier on where they were saying, if you compare the behavior of two of the top, like Alfonso Davies, for example, from nobody knew who he was from Bayern Munich.
Yes.
He's now possibly one of the best right backs in the world right now,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the top. But like just attitude wise, like if you're given a shot, why not play for this badge? Why not say, okay, I don't play normally, I don't play as right back, but they're giving me a shot to make this place my own.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Rule Carvey, thanks for joining us again. He's excited. Rule is excited every season. Every season, Glenn is a restart. Every season, your dreams can be, and surely we're going to improve on eighth place from last season.
Yeah, every season he starts with some hope and stuff, but there's something different
Optimism.
this season. There's something really different this season. Arteta, the players we are going to sign, the way these players have said, these players that we wanted to leave are performing. It's even very interesting to see Saliba not playing yesterday. For me, it feels like he's not going to start the first 5 games. still going to stick with the likes of Holding and Lewis to start the season off, and that shows me that he has trust in these players. The likes of Kolasinac, who is still here, El Neni. I'll not stop mentioning El Neni. El Neni is still at Arsenal. El Neni. So
Now
definitely.
we'll definitely get into El Neni, Glenn. But the assembled here brings up a great point, and Andrew, I think from Dial 101 is here in the chats. He dropped a video about Kieran Tierney. It's a 17-minute video. It's very good. You should check out his Twitter feed and find that on Kieran Tierney. Now, what Kieran Tierney says in a certain point in that video is Mikel Arteta is amazing in his preparation. He tells the players exactly what's going to happen in the game and how their opposing marking players are going to come at them and how they should position their body to be in the right place to receive balls from players and in the right place to pass the ball off. So Mikel Arteta's attention to detail is second to none, and I think that's what's going to set him apart from other coaches in this league that we're going to be fighting against, the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and hopefully Frank Lampard, Brendan Rodgers, all of those coaches. Arteta can set himself apart from them.
Yeah, the thing is, I also thought Emre used to focus on the opponent too, just like Arteta. But for him, he used to focus too much on the opponent and forget about his own team. And the tactics were so poor. We saw Torreira playing as a number 10. We saw Niles playing almost as a striker all the time. So for Arteta, it seems like he focuses on the opponent and focuses on his own team. Whenever he plays a back four, it works. Whenever he plays a back three, it works. So he knows what to do with the team, definitely.
Yeah. So definitely, everyone in the comment section, we're trying to hit 25 likes on this video. So if you take a moment now, just stop and hit the like button. It really, really would help. We have 11 people in the chats right now. We're trying to expand the viewership, so we have great podcasts like this with great interaction from everyone. I think I'm hearing just a little bit of feedback. DWTT, the assembled. Arteta definitely sets the team up well. He just needs better starters and more depth. Yeah, Mahir, that's the thing. When you're looking at the substitute bench, you're looking a little bit light. We can put a decent team out, our first 11, but we need to go into the transfer market, maybe go and get a couple of players still.
Yeah, definitely a couple of players. I would think of the likes of, a team would be getting rid of our Ozil and putting our from Lyon in there. Obviously, Partey is just going to drag on and drag on until, like you guys have seen, I've lost my hair waiting for Partey, the announcement for Partey and maybe a Coutinho, I'm waiting.
Partey's coming. We have to be confident that Partey is going to come.
Well, my heart right now is set on just for them to bloody announce that all the terms have been agreed and they are signing and they at the Emirates going through the stadium tour and
Rule has said he would love Arteta to continue with the back three, get some points on the board, and then gradually fade out after 20 games. I think we're going to need to do that, Glenn, to allow William Saliba. And I think the reason why he was sitting on the bench is so he could become accustomed to the pace and power of the Premier League and witness that firsthand.
Yeah, I don't think you can just start the season with Gabriel and Saliba. If you check out our first 10 fixtures, you have Man U, Chelsea, City, Liverpool. So we don't want to be embarrassed in the first 2 games and kill their confidence. So you'd rather just have Luis there. If you have to play a back three, then it's going to be Gabriel, Saliba, and Luis, or maybe Luis Holding and one of those new signings. A back three, as I always say, back three fits us. I think it was Tony who used to say back three fits as well. And I definitely agree with him because for a striker, it allows us to play the Aubameyang and Lacazette. It allows our fullbacks, the likes of Tierney, Saka. Saka is not a fullback, but as he was playing last season, the likes of Bellerin to go forward. So it definitely fits us. Definitely. Plus,
we got to give Tony props. He was talking about back three before even I was talking about back three, and it was needed. The second wave has come in. Tony's here, Rules in. Alex from Canada, thanks. Gunnar Glenn's here. So good stuff, people in the chats. I expect we're going to improve a lot from last season. The problem now is the Cronkies will believe they've invested enough. It will be down to selling the better players. That's definitely an issue. Maybe I do hope we're going to get Partey.
The question is, who are our better players apart from the youngsters, Martinelli, Sakas, and the goalkeepers? Who are our better players in terms of
Our
the
better players
midfield?
would be Lacazette, Bellerin, Guerra.
Yeah.
The better players of the batch that could be sold on for profit.
Because
Okay.
I've had almost 60% of people saying Bellerin should go, and I always wonder why.
Yeah, because maybe they don't see him coming back from the ACL injury.
You see, if you ask me, about it, right? My thoughts on Bellerin is, I really honestly think we can get a better right back. I know we've got is it Cedric Suarez? No, yeah, Suarez. Cedric Suarez.
Yeah,
I believe we can be back up, but I believe we can. I honestly believe we can improve in that position much better. There's Max Aarons. There's a few young right backs that I could name that I don't want to go through, but I honestly believe in all the time that Bellerin's been with us. I had this argument with my cousin yesterday. He was laughing. I said, "Your guy Bellerin, I just see him all the time, but he doesn't watch football. Like he's not interested. He's interested in being a model. So let him go do these things there.
uh, Tony has said he thinks Saliba didn't play because he started the other friendly last week, and that could be true as well. This is a pre-fitness exercise. Yesterday just happened to have a trophy, which I think it was quite funny. Aubameyang was joking about not dropping this one. He's getting some practice about picking up some trophies. The assemble, I hope you're so wrong and that Arteta Edu tell them this isn't a one-time fix, but many fixes every year. Yep. So we do need to upgrade every year in order to fight the top dogs here. We got to fight Liverpool and Manchester City on a consistent basis. Ray Anderson said, Arteta said exactly how Leeds were going to play, but they didn't listen in the first half. Exactly. Okay, so let's get into the game. Yeah, we talked about the lineup. We talked about Al Nani, and we'll get into that as well. I thought we started out really, really well, Glenn. We started the game pretty well. Had obviously that shaky 6-minute Van Dijk offside goal, which was a little bit worrying to me. But when you see the replay, Van Dijk is very much offside after 6 minutes. And then in the 12th minute, yeah, go ahead, Glenn.
Yeah, because last season you considered a lot of set pieces. I thought that is something you had sorted out from the previous years, but again it came back. I remember when we used to play the likes of Sunderland and Stoke, it used to hurt us badly. The likes of Wigan, but again we settled with we tried and improved it. But last season again, it seems like also this season with that Van Dijk chance and that Van Dijk goal, it seems like we still need to sort that out. But the first 12 minutes, 30 minutes were very good, and also the first half in general, it should have been like 3-0 up to be fair. And that's where you need like someone like Aubameyang up front. I'm sure if it was Aubameyang in the Nketiah position, he would have taken one of those two chances he had. But fair play to them. We played very well in the first half. Liverpool couldn't handle us, and Liverpool are one of those teams that starts games very well, but we started better than them yesterday.
Yeah, we started better than them, and it was kind of strange because they had 2 more weeks preparation than us.
I honestly believe we could have put the game to bed, maybe.
Oh yeah, we definitely had chances, and this is something that may dog us through the season. Aubameyang is very, very efficient with the chances he gets, but the supporting cast around him, they're not going to score at the same frequency as Aubameyang will. So Nketiah, Lacazette, Pepe when he's playing, Saka, they're all going to have to chip in and get some goals. Willian too. Rule has said Arteta has to use what he has until he gets what he wants. The team will gradually change, but it's a slow process. Will take more than 4 windows. Yeah, hopefully, Rule. I think hopefully it takes a little bit comes a little suited in the forward windows for that. But Glenn, Martinez starts off the move for the goal, and I counted 5 or 6 passes later. Aubameyang's curling the ball into the corner of the net. Fantastic goal.
That switch of play from Saka to Aubameyang, that shows you confidence. That kid, like, he was not scared. Doesn't matter whether it's Liverpool or Southampton, he'll do it. And still, though, I always get worried when Martinez starts playing from the back, and Leno, it always still worries me. He always takes so many risks. I wish you could mix it up at times, play it long sometimes. We saw. I think it was in the FA Cup. Go ahead, Mahir.
I was just saying Martinez is so cool, man. Like his distribution, I was saying to Ray, is on Narcos levels. Martinez. And I mean, it's lovely that we've got 2 top keepers right now.
I
think it was in the FA Cup. Sorry. I think it was in the FA Cup semi-final. I saw Martinez playing a long ball straight to Aubameyang. I want us also to try that because we have a lot of pacey players up front.
Yeah. I think, in fairness, Glenn, we do mix it up a little bit. Now, we have a catalogue of goals, 4 or 5 now, under Arteta, that we've scored goals from all the way from the goalkeeper, passing out from the back. But there are times when David Luiz is able to hit the long ball. Kieran Tierney famously hit that long ball for the penalty in the cup final as well.
Yeah.
And down the line as well for the semi-final.
Interesting point Tony makes there.
Torreira, Luiz, and Saliba will likely be our centre backs to start the season. I actually see David Luiz, Saliba, and Tierney. I think he may have meant to say Tierney, Tony there. But the interesting thing with the formation, Glenn, is that when you have holding, not so much holding, scratch that. Let's say Saliba on the right-hand side with David Luiz in the middle, and you have Tierney on the left. Now, Tierney and Ainsley Maitland-Niles can pivot on that left side. If Ainsley Maitland-Niles goes forward, Tierney becomes the left back in a 4. And if Ainsley Maitland-Niles comes back, he's the wing back, and Tierney is your left central defender. So I think that's really, really great tactical and just understanding what the players can do from Arteta.
So you'd go with Niles on the left, so that still go with Saka on the left side.
I think Saka now is, we have to understand Saka as being a winger now. He'll play on the left wing or right wing where it's needed. And I think we have a question on that a little bit later that will affect Pepe.
Not just Pepe. If you play a back 5, it affects both Pepe and Willian. That's the problem. So I've done a lot of predicted lineups and I've not included Saka in any of them. And I think it's a bit unfair because he's playing very well. So I want him to start a few games at the start of the season. That's why I'm saying that's the only open place for him.
Yeah, Mahir, I actually felt that Saka would not get selected because he was not selected in the FA Cup final. He probably needs a rest.
Yeah, really. I'm really excited to see these youngsters. I mean, especially like Glenn said, Saka. I mean, come on, Saka, Tierney. That combination is going to be so deadly. Got Aubameyang up front, maybe Willian playing in the hole where Ozil operates right in the middle. Chuck Ozil, chuck him, and then Willian has hopefully a fantastic season. Like I know I sound like a broken tape recorder, but yeah, that's basically my lineup.
Yeah, I think Ozil will have a reduced.
Can I ask a question, Ray, to the people in the chat?
Yeah.
That position where Ceballos used to play with Xhaka in the middle, can Willian really play that position? It would be such a benefit if Willian can fit in that Ceballos position.
I think it would be tough to ask him to do that. He's going to be more of an attacking central midfielder. I see him behind the front 3.
Because if you play a back 3 and then have Bellerin and Tierney left and right, and then you have Xhaka and someone else, and then Aubameyang, Pepe, and Lacazette, there's no position for him. That's why I'm asking if he can play in that position.
Yeah, I think Tony meant to say Tierney in this situation as well. Bellerin will bring in 30 million. We can find a better player. So And Andrew has said we're in a rebuild. Easy Maitland-Niles is exactly what we need. 23 homegrown, massively improved under Arteta. Big, strong, and powerful. So definitely two players yesterday we're talking about in Emi Martinez and Easy Maitland-Niles that played key factors in the game yesterday, and hopefully club is rethinking their strategy there. Gunnar Glenn said, I'm surprised a lot of teams are not looking at Max Aarons, including us. We may have already earmarked Max Aarons, possibly. Who knows? In the same way that we have different strategies for players coming in, we may have different strategies for players going out as well. And Tony did mean to say Tierney. So, Glenn, when Saka did pass that ball to Aubameyang for the goal, I was like, this is a beautiful pass, and Aubameyang's got space now to do something.
Yeah, that time where the ball goes on the left side or to the wing, and then you're like, there's nothing that is going to come from here. Then you just start tweeting, and then all of a sudden, Aubameyang, and then you look back to the TV and like, he scored a goal, brilliant goal again, 5 goals at Wembley already in just like a month. I mean, no one else can score that. Nketiah won't score that. Pepe has tried it a bit. I mean, many times he's skied it. Lacazette won't do that. None of our players can do that. Only Aubameyang. So giving us that lead early on, I always felt like the team that was going to take the lead was going to win the game. So it was helpful to us. I'm just
and that's the great. That's the great thing.
Comments are coming about Niall. Sorry.
That's also the good thing, and the bad thing is that the great thing about Aubameyang is he can score goals like that, but we've got no one else in the squad that can do that. The assemble said Leno, Bellerin, Xhaka, Lacazette, Ozil, and Aubameyang are the players with value. It will be who Arsenal keep and who the others are replaced with. So Mahir, a wonderful shot from Aubameyang past Alisson.
That goal was so sweet. Oh my days! That's what Aubameyang does. Obama blood Yang just cuts in and just decides, oh hello, open space. You're not gonna get this. Boom bang, and I would have loved for them to add on to that at least another second goal or third goal. Make it comprehensive. I know it's only a friendly, but this is the curtain opener basically because we start again soon. We go again.
Yeah.
And one other thing I wanted to mention to you guys, when I was looking through the fixture list, right, it seems that each week in prime, it's set up actually so prime for us. So I would actually love for us to get the targets that we've been linked to. Maybe not get rid of all the dead wood, but bring in like Partey, if you're going to sell Lacazette, as the symbol said, he wanted to know who. So like Ozil would be Ozil out, Aouar in, or Coutinho in, right? If you're going to sell Lacazette, you bring in Edouard, the young striker from Celtic. Obviously, we're keeping Aubameyang. Obviously, he's probably signed the thing already. And then I don't see anybody else. I think that's our team right there.
I am hearing rumors about Aubameyang possibly signing the contract tomorrow or Tuesday. So hopefully that does happen.
Hopefully.
Andrew has said Bellerin's coming back to his best. We need to keep him. Max Aarons is a good prospect, but he is just a prospect. At this point, after 12 minutes, we're 1-0 up, Glenn. And on the 17th minute, I'm going to highlight something here. Nketiah wins the ball in midfield. And Xhaka takes it. He drives forward. One of the few times probably you're going to see Granit Xhaka move forward and be decisive and penetrate into the middle part of the penalty box. He passed the ball to Saka, and Saka squares it back to Nketiah. And his first time shot is saved by Alisson. And that's after 70 minutes. That's our opportunity maybe to go 2-0 up there.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of chance you want to fall to Aubameyang. That is one of the chances I was talking about. Interesting, you brought that point about Shaka. People always say he plays that position for Switzerland, but I always don't feel like he can play that position. But that one time that he took the ball, ran with it, and actually gave a good pass, and the composure of Saka to actually pick someone out and not just cross the ball. He picked him out and get had a shot on target. It was a very, very good good what build up that deserved a goal, to
Yeah,
be honest.
a great build up because now we're pressing Liverpool players. We're doing it quite effectively, and Liverpool were pressing us high as well, and we were able to break out of the press. Um, as shown by the goal that we scored. Um, Once again, the 27th minute, Nketiah shoots over the bar. So we're on top after the first 30 minutes. Um, After 30 minutes, Glenn, I'm a little bit worried here because Hector Bellerin puts his hands on Sadio Mane. I'm relieved it's not a penalty at that point.
Yeah, and this thing of giving away penalties, it seems like we can never stop it. Last season, you do know last season he had the most yellow cards in the Premier League. He had the most red cards in the Premier League. I think he also had the most fouls and almost the second most penalties given away. That is something that needs to be worked on. And I always feel like it's because our players are a bit slow sometimes, the likes of Shaq and Luis. But Bellerin is fast. You expect him to like try and cover it more. So that is one part of his game that he needs to sort out. And the likes of Varney, Rashford, you're going to give out a penalty 8 times out of 10. So we need to work on that. Definitely.
So that was a point where I was worried that the referee was going to give them something. This point, Liverpool's coming into the game now. After 30 minutes, we've dominated the game pretty well. 2-0 up. No, 1-0 up. Should have possibly been 2-0 up. And Robertson cross. Salah's not there. And at 42 minutes, Tierney shot is blocked. So we go in at halftime 1-0. And what's your feelings, Glenn, at 1-0?
At halftime?
Yeah, at halftime we played quite well. Liverpool are coming back into the game a little bit.
I was thinking come back in the second half, make a couple of substitutions, let's try and get a second, but the game plan definitely changed. And as I said, it's not like Arteta is the one who like wants to defend. I feel like he knows the players couldn't have handled the whole 90 minutes and decided to change tactics and try and defend. But you all know 10 times out of 10, you cannot depend on Arsenal to defend. Apart from the last 2-3 months that we've defended well, you can never depend on Arsenal to defend for 90 minutes. So that's why we still need players. That's why we honestly still need players who can run for 90 minutes and defend for 90 minutes, keep concentration for 90 minutes. So I was
Yeah,
thinking let's come and get a second, but we
we are
didn't
not in
manage.
a position where we're going to be winning possession stats. Mahir, we're not that well tooled yet to be able to win the possession stats in terms of the big top four. Let's say.
Yeah, it's just because unfortunately, we discussed this before. It's depth in squad. We don't have depth that we can just bring on somebody that's just going to solidify. Say for example, we are 2-0 ahead. We're always going to concede a goal that's going to make us drop our heads and possibly concede another and another for the winner. And we go away thinking to ourselves, like, how did we manage to throw away a 2-0 lead or 3-0 lead within the space of few minutes, maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes or half? And we end up losing. And when we look at it at the end of the season, we're minus, we're like, we should have had like 6 to 15 points that would have gotten us easily into the top four. But that's just what it is. Unfortunately, we don't have depth.
And they're talking about in the chats how many players may be out on international duty as well. So that's going to be a tricky one now. We always know the start of the season is hampered by the internationals, the dreaded internationals. Stan, the man, is here. Thanks, Stan. Eddie Nketiah looks out of his depth in an empty stadium. Should be playing in the championship. He's a finisher. Eddie is a bit more of a finisher. He doesn't have Ryan, he's not really good with general play in and around the box. Lacazette will give you more of that, but Eddie Nketiah is not really that kind of player. He's going to get on the end of things and hopefully finish them off.
Yeah, I saw him against Aston Villa, the game we lost at the end of last season, and he was played in the right wing, and he was terrible. He looked very lost. He looks like someone who just needs
Yeah,
to play in the center. He can't play anywhere else.
you can't
But
play
I think
anywhere
it's
else.
unfair to say championship. He should be a bench player. It's good enough to come on when there's like 20 minutes remaining to clinch the game. When like 3-1 up, he can come in, something like that.
I think at this point in time in the league, he's going to be vying for that one position with Lacazette as well. And I think there's enough games for everyone um, to share around. Ray Anderson said, "That's what I'm saying. That AZ Maitland is playing in midfield sometimes in the Community Shield. We could have won by the first half. Our wing backs were very important in our attacks." Um, yeah, Ainsley Maitland-Niles playing really, really well. I remember, Len, one opportunity that I think you may have mentioned that Ainsley Maitland-Niles had the opportunity to take the shot himself and and preferred to pass it to Nketiah in the shot. The chance kind of went by the wayside for us.
Yeah, but also for that, it was a good build-up from Aubameyang and Tierney again.
And Darren, thanks for joining us, Darren. Did anyone miss Lacazette? Maybe, you know, I think Nketiah did pretty well, but Lacazette is more of the finished article. If we could splice the two of them together, Nketiah and Lacazette, it would be, perfect for us. I think he played that sort of position at Shakhtar. Willian, I mean. Okay. If Willian plays behind the front three, doesn't Auba move to the middle? I don't want to see Aubameyang move to the middle myself. Um, Eddie isn't quite ready yet. So we're starting to see good parts of our squad and then other parts that are maybe not as good. And center forward is one of those positions, Glenn.
Yeah, but again, I still feel like we need to see Aubameyang up front at least a couple of times. I know like if he gets that position against those slow centre backs, the likes of Duffy at Brighton, I can see a bunch of goals getting scored. The only problem is that I feel like he has too much to defend all the time when he plays on that left wing. I know it works out for him because he can get in behind the fullbacks who are trying to attack and stuff, but the way like he has to defend all the time against the likes of Salah and Traore on that wing, that's what it takes
Yeah.
away. I'm sure if he plays as a center striker, it would have been 30 plus goals for those 2 seasons.
Let's go into the second half now, Glenn. Ray Anderson has said in the second half we needed to hold the ball up more because we were tiring. Lacazette could have done that, but he was not. He was not in the squad yesterday. So we're definitely getting pushed back. Liverpool are in the ascendancy, and there was a couple of probings by James Milner in particular. I noticed, the old professional, the old wily professional, and he actually took a yellow card for a foul on Nketiah. But that's a signal to his team to start playing better, and Liverpool are trying to claw themselves back into the game.
That's for me.
Yeah, we'll get to Gundogan in a second.
You'd expect Liverpool to come into the game. They were champions.
Yeah,
So you didn't expect us to dominate them for 90 minutes, but I felt like we took our foot off the gas too much, too early. And then
we either
also
took,
again
took
another
our
thing with Arteta, too late
we either
with the
took our
subs
foot
again.
off the gas or we were gassed, one or the other. You know what I mean? Because of our fitness.
Yeah, but I thought like okay, the MK Dons game would have helped a bit. Plus, most of those players, the likes of the other players who were taken off very early in that MK Dons game. I know, like, and we were the ones who played most recently, so you'd expect us to. I know Liverpool came back earlier, but we played most recently in a competitive game, so you'd expect us to have more like energy and stuff. But you could understand, but that thing is something that I feel like it's going to affect us still next season. Our players can't manage 90 minutes.
Yeah, we definitely can manage 90 minutes. Hopefully, if fitness comes by, we can start evening up the possession stats. I think Liverpool had about 65% possession against our 35. The one thing in our favour is we have a player called Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang who is very, very efficient with the chances he's given. And DWTT says yesterday we had enough chances to get 2 goals by halftime. We have to take better care of our chances and finish. Our defense cannot hold down for 90. 1-0 to the Arsenal isn't here yet. Mahir, I'm going to come to you. We're going to start I think it's perfect time to talk about Mohamed El Neni. Now, for me, I'm quite happy to keep Mohamed El Neni in our squad. I see Glenn smiling there. He is a very, very good, consistent player.
No, man.
Yes,
Who would you have? Who would you have,
not good enough for
Mahir,
Arsenal.
over El Neni? Would you have Torreira? Would you have Ozil? Would you have Guendouzi?
Um, okay, I'd have definitely Torreira
Would you play Guendouzi over El Neni?
and
And
no.
obviously Ozil's not really going to get into the squad, so it's a question of Torreira versus El Neni. Glenn, have your say.
Yeah,
I'd play Guendouzi. I'd play Guendouzi ahead of El Neni.
El Neni
like,
gives you structure. He gives you a competitive edge. He gives you an aerial threat in midfield. He gives you commitment and he gives you consistency.
he also gives you slow, boring football. He also gives you sideways football. He also gives you backwards football. He also gives you 5 years Arsene Wenger's time football. And I don't want us to go back to Arsene Wenger's later years, the last 2-3 years of Wenger. I don't want those players. I don't want the likes of El Neni. I don't want the Gabriel, the older Gabriel. I don't want those players anymore. I want us to move forward. I'd definitely prefer Guendouzi and Torreira ahead of him. I just think we need to move from that. I want Xhaka and someone else in the middle. And then if Guendouzi stays, they can come from the bench. But not Xhaka and El Neni, or El Neni coming in for Xhaka. No.
Glenn, if we get Thomas Partey, which I feel we're going to get Thomas Partey, how do you see our midfield being formed? Do we continue with 3 at the back, or now do we go 4 at the back with 3 in midfield? And Partey is obviously the foundation in midfield, right?
Yeah, just Partey without any other midfielder, without signing any other.
Yeah, without signing any other midfielder.
Because I would still like Sabias to come. Xhaka and I'll play Xhaka and Partey there, and then I'd have obviously Aubameyang on the left, Willian on the right, Pepe as a number 10, and Lacazette up front. So back 4, yeah.
So Rule says from the match yesterday, I think we need an experienced forward, even a big aerial threat. That's a good shout, Rule. I want more depth. Xhaka, Mustafi are depth, but are asked to be starters. But I think we're going to see Saliba and Gabriel and Saliba will be the eventual partnership. But I think David Luiz will be orchestrating between those 2 players. And I'm quite happy moving forward if that's the way we're going to do it in the 3 at the back. Hopefully we're going to go out and get Partey as well. So the goal eventually comes, Mahir. Minamino. It's kind of bundled in a little bit of ricocheting in the box. I'm hoping that Mo Salah gets his hands on it, and I'm still not quite sure if he didn't. The VAR, the dreaded VAR, checked it, and it's a goal for Minamino.
I mean, football like that in the box. You know how many times have you seen ball just ricocheting like a pinball machine is just bouncing all over the place, ends up at one of the wingers, at one of the strikers, whoever it is, ends up in the back of the net. It's just one of those things.
Glenn, what was your feeling at the time? 73 minutes, Liverpool score, and you're kind of thinking, this is it. They're probably going to go on and get the winner at this point in time.
They did have a very good chance with Mane. But as I said, you can't defend. You can't trust Arsenal's defense to hold out for 90 minutes, and especially not against Liverpool. So it was definitely coming, but I didn't want Minamino to score against us. We always get scored again with some people who've never been hard in the Premier League before. But the way the goal was considered careless again, unlucky. I thought it was a handball at first. It wasn't. And then after they scored, I thought they were going to get a second. So it was a relief actually getting to 90 minutes.
Mahir, Emi Martinez pulls off a save on 80 minutes from Sadio Mane. And then on 86 minutes, we have a header from Joe Willock. So it ends in a draw at full time.
That's just the thing. If you've got top keepers, you must try by any means necessary to try and keep them happy. Because as we do know, apparently our team want to sell Martinez and want to buy another keeper, which is it makes it redundant. Why sell a keeper if you're just going to buy another keeper to save ten
Yeah,
million pounds,
yeah,
which essentially just goes back into the bank of us never spending that 10 million. You get me?
yeah. Carol has said we must keep Ainsley, Martinez, and Bellerin, and hope. I Torreira must want to leave. He must be homesick, right, Glenn?
Yeah, if he wants to leave, then I'd let him go. But if we lose Torreira and Guendouzi, then we might your dream might come true. You might keep Elneny if the both of them leave.
Okay, so then we, yeah, the money will be found somewhere. Our squad, we will be able to find money somewhere. I don't think we should worry about that. And I think from what I'm hearing, Partey is waiting for Arsenal. We are the only destination um, for him. Carl said, forget the Euros and new competition. Eddie, as a finisher, Arteta wants his players to do more than one thing. Eddie needs to do more. Dave, thanks for joining us. Congrats on the penalty kicks. It really was 50-50 at this point. I was talking to Dave and I was like, flip a coin here, Glenn. We're gonna go to penalties. Let's flip a coin and see what happens.
Yeah, but the thing is, we didn't have our better penalty takers, the Pepes and like okay, not the better, but the ones who usually take penalties, the Lacazettes and Pepes, and
Yeah,
we had to have the likes of the defenders, the Cedric and Luis, to take the penalties. And even after that, I think we had more players to come in, like the Shaka and stuff, to take the penalties. Very, very good penalties, especially David Luiz's penalty. Very, very good. Top, almost the top corner. So that's a good thing to know that we have people who can take penalties. Even
yeah.
Willian, when he comes in.
We're up to 11 likes here. So if you're on the stream, if you breathe oxygen, as Mahir said, slap a like on the video. I really really appreciate it. It would bring um, more and more people into the chats, and the chats can get out of hand, and the moderators can tell people to calm down a little bit. It's all good stuff, though. Um, so I'll stay with you, Glenn, for a second. The strategy for penalty taking, for me, you always want to start with your best penalty takers, but we approached it differently to Liverpool. We started with our not what would not be our best penalty takers.
Yeah,
What would your strategy be if you were a coach? Would you start with your best, or would you start with the least best?
I'd go with my best first. I'd probably have gone with
Yeah.
Aubameyang maybe second or something.
So Liverpool did that, and Salah scores. It's 1-0 to Liverpool. Next up is Reece Nelson. These very very
Yeah,
good penalty.
again, just like MK Dons, very, very like composure. Like for a young player, again, good to see some confidence in him.
Fabinho comes. Mahir Fabinho's next. He scores, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I put a little note here beside his penalty. Cool. It was just cool as a cucumber, ice cold for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. The way he put that penalty away.
It's fantastic. I think it was fantastic. All penalties were immaculate. So hard, low, hard, high. Places where the keeper
No chance.
just doesn't
Yeah.
stand a chance. Send him the wrong way. And in the
So
corner,
at this point, I think
guaranteed.
Ryan Brewster is going to have a. I've been talking about him the last couple of podcasts. He's going to have an impact this season for Liverpool for sure, and he's going to be his his season will not be defined by missing this penalty, but he did look nervous to me. I'm going to say that he was only on for a couple of minutes, maybe not warmed up properly, didn't get a touch of the ball, and he looked nervous to me. He hits the crossbar.
Yeah, it's always unfortunate when you're the only player who ends up missing the penalty. He was out on loan last season, I think. I'm not quite
Yeah, and
sure.
he's done quite well on loan. He's scored a goal every other game
Yeah, in the championship.
for Ipswich,
So
I
yeah,
think.
he's going to have a good season for them, but I don't really care about Liverpool. I care about how Nelson and Niles took their
That's fair.
penalties. So
That's fair to say. So Ryan Brewster's missed. We have an opportunity to go ahead, and Cedric steps forward. I'm a little bit worried, Line, at this point.
no, I actually think he's very well. He's technically gifted better than Bellerin and Niles in free kicks, penalties, corners. So I was calm. He took a penalty in the Euros when they won
Portuguese
against.
international. I was
Yeah,
thinking that this is an
yeah.
international player with a lot of experience. Um, so he does score. Minamino scores for Liverpool, and we're just thinking now we have two more penalty takers. Let's just make it perfect, and we're there. David Luiz steps forward. Mahir, you're on mute there.
Say anything. Immaculate anything. Puts it away. Immaculate. Mwah! Magnifique.
The other the tenth line, Jones, who's the player who scored in the 5-5 in the League Cup and won it for them. He steps forward now. I thought he looked a little nervous as well. His penalty was a little bit poor as well, but it sneaks into the corner and keeps them alive.
Yeah, I know when the opponent goes fast in the players, you're always very worried, especially when they score the fourth one and then you have to score yes, and then they score the fifth one, then you get worried. But it was another cool penalty from them right in the bottom corner, right in the corner, total corner. So it was a good penalty. Most of them were good penalties apart from the one that was missed.
And
So I
then
was worried at that time.
so we have one final penalty to take and one final penalty to make. And whereas you could see the celebrations for each Arsenal player as their penalties were coming. Aubameyang wasn't getting excited because he probably knew he was the fifth penalty taker. And the king, we're going to have to call him the king of Wembley right now, Glenn, steps forward. And there was no doubt about Aubameyang. He was going to put that away, right?
Yeah, of course. And when the fifth penalty came, I was thinking, here we go. This is the chance for the legend Mohamed El Neni to get himself a deal at Arsenal to take the fifth penalty. And then I see Aubameyang stepping ahead of El Neni. I was like very worried. But then I was like, Aubameyang, the guy who has scored more than almost 100 goals already for Arsenal, is not going to miss this one. So I actually don't think Aubameyang is good at penalties, though. But that was a very good one.
So there it is. We won the Community Shield. You know, it's a nice thing to have, but we're not going to get too carried away. We are used to winning FA Cups, especially. But for the coming season, Glenn, we need to move forward, and I think we can have confidence in Arteta. He is a coach now that's going to extract a lot out of this team, a lot out of pretty average parts. It's like taking average parts from different kind of cars and making it into a pretty decent car.
Yeah, and it's also looking like they're building something. Like in the goalkeeper position, we have three good goalkeepers. At the right back position, we are talking about who will play, who will start. Left back, we don't know if they're going to play TNE or Saka there. So it's good to build that two players in every position, competition in every position. So that's a good start. So for him, I think he's going to do very well next season. Like two trophies already. As I said again, the only competition that he started from the start was the FA Cup. Of course, in there he came the Carabao Cup. You're already out. He came in the middle of the Premier League. He came in the middle of the Europa League. The one that he started with, we won. So I can't wait for him to start with the Premier League and the Europa League next season.
Yeah, definitely. Carl has hit on a good point here, and you know I'm gonna back El Neni here because he wants to play for us, whereas you know Guendouzi and Torreira have obviously got issues. Torreira probably being homesick. It hasn't really worked out for him. I think the best thing we can do is recoup about 25 million from the Torreira sale. Am I here?
100%. You know my thoughts. I would prefer to have a Thomas Partey and Torreira combo in the middle, but and Xhaka being the one being sold, obviously to get us funds for. But if that doesn't happen, I mean, you can't cry a river for too long. It's just one of those things. You're just gonna have to carry on, you know.
If both
So
players leave, sorry, if both players Torreira and Guendouzi leave, then you can keep El Neni, but we can't keep players because they want to play for Arsenal. I also want to play for Arsenal. I'm sure my hair wants to play for Arsenal, but we are not going to be signed because you want to play for Arsenal. So you have to be cruel with this decision sometimes.
Cool to be found, yeah.
yeah, it is a business after all. I'm sure Aubameyang knows what it means, and we need more depth because after the internationals, we don't know who have to go into quarantine. So a couple of things. I'll go with Len. Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Emmy Martinez. I think we've talked around this a little bit. These are players we do want to keep. These are players who are probably excelling, and you could see Bernd Leno. He had that look in his eye like he's going to have a difficult time dislodging Emmy Martinez from the goalkeeping position.
Yeah, the thing is, as you said earlier on, there's so many games to be played. I think we'll still play like maybe two friendlies before the start. And then the Europa League games, if you reach the end, that's like more than 15 games. The Carabao Cup, like almost 5 games. The FA Cup, another 5 games. So I think there's a way you can play Martinez in the league and Leno in the other competition. And just like Romero is a very good goalkeeper at Man U and he's settled for second. He doesn't worry about that. So I don't think we need to sell any of them this season. Not at all.
Yeah. So Mahir, every Arsenal fan now can sort of stick their chest out and start walking around. Not that we wouldn't have with this shirt on our backs, but now we can look at Liverpool supporters, friends and family, people we work with, and not take any stuff from them. You know what I mean?
I only say that they are very humble fans and they are loudmouth fans. You guys know my thought on loudmouth fans. I love giving them all the banter, Glenn, all the banter. I was walking around in the mall yesterday with my Bruce Banana shirt on, and this guy looks at me in the line and he says, what time are we playing you? So I said, you support Liverpool? He said, yeah, we're going to give it to you guys. I said, "Well, it's just a competition. Oh, I would have loved to see the guy's face at the end of it's just the loudmouth fans. Like, sit down, be quiet, be humble, be chilled, because anything can happen at any time. I mean, even like the likes of us, we can't now say to Liverpool fans, oh, we've got one up on you. We're better than you, getting carried away along with other fans. You just
Yeah,
have to
I
be.
think it's important to have humility, but also to understand that we're a club that are probably going to step forward now next season, Glenn. I'm thinking we are going to be either fourth place or fifth place, and I'm warning. Was talking to Mahir yesterday. We are going to be going into the last game of the season. It will be Brighton at home, looking for a win probably to cement fourth place. The bold
Or
prediction.
maybe, or hopefully, here's a bold prediction. Hopefully, we'll be going for an unbeaten season. That will be a final game, 38 games to make it an unbeaten season with Arteta. That
All
imagine
right,
Arteta completes an unbeaten season. That would be
You're
amazing. But yeah, you're
that would be
hoping
that
for
would be a little bit diluted. You're going to get some grief for that. You're going to get some comments for that.
You can't
Um,
pick on
you're
them.
hoping
I'm here.
you're
Cool
hoping
it,
for top
cool
four.
it.
some players don't
Yeah,
adapt to the climate, etc. Sell those players that don't want to stay. It doesn't make sense. We have players that don't want to play for the club. Juve want Partey. Yeah, but does Partey want Juve? We'll see what happens. He is an Arsenal supporter, right, Glenn?
yeah,
Thomas
but
Partey is an Arsenal supporter.
you can imagine if Messi goes to Juventus, everyone will want to play for Juventus. So you can see him wanting to go there.
Rule has said Liverpool were not their usual confident self in defence and could have been taken in the latter minutes. They switched to a back three middle of the second half. They missed Trent Alexander really, really badly.
Liverpool, yeah, like
Yeah.
that is like the De Bruyne, like they have someone who attacks like De Bruyne from the right side. So that definitely is a strength for them, one of the best attacking ways for them.
All right. So at this point, we're going to get into another section here. We're going to answer a few of these questions from uh, Arsenal Circle Box. If you have any questions, folks, throughout the week, drop me a Twitter with the hashtag Arsenal Circle Box, and we will address them here for you. And I got one or two here for you to go through, Glenn. So just
Yeah.
bear with me. All right, now here's a question, Glenn. How do you feel about
Mhm.
Saliba, Willian, and Emil Smith Rowe not being given a run out yesterday? That is from Hopes.
Um, oh, for Saliba, I found it
Saliba,
interesting because, yeah, for Saliba, I found it interesting because that shows me that maybe next season he won't start the first few games. He's going to like start from the bench for the first 5 games and he'll still go for the likes of Lewis and Holding. So that was interesting, but I also wouldn't have started him yesterday anyway. Smith Rowe, I think he will stay, but again, I think he has to come from the bench. I thought if he came back, I thought maybe Nelson or Willow could leave, but it seems like he's going to keep all of them. So a good opportunity for all of them. Of course, in the Europa League, when you're playing the second team, he's going to be the one playing as the number 10. That is a good thing. So not in the Premier League, but in the cup games for Smith Rowe. And the other one was Willian. Willian, I don't understand why he didn't play. I wanted to see him before the season
mhm.
starts, but as I said, it looks like we have a few friendlies to come again, like maybe two more. So we'll definitely see him. Had to
Yeah,
throw him out. Had to throw
I have
someone
to.
against Liverpool for the first game.
Yeah, I will echo what you're saying here. Saliba, I was disappointed not to see Saliba. I think if you have a promising young central defender, you have to test him in
Yeah,
preseason, albeit if it's 3 or 4 days apart in terms of the games. But maybe he was looking at he needed to look and see the pace of the Premiership and what's required playing against
yeah,
a Liverpool. We know, of course, our first 10 games will be extremely difficult. So I think the temptation with Arteta will be to continue with the central defenders that we have and then know the Premier League. But Willian, I was disappointed not to see him. And I think, like you said, Emil Smith Rowe, he's going to have a big part to play, but he's going to be a secondary part in that position, probably behind Willian as the creative midfielder. We might see him in some Premier League games, but we're going to see him more in the Europa. Do you think so?
yeah. I think he needs to be given a chance. I think everyone else, the likes of Niles, Saka, they've all been given a chance ahead of him. So I think it is season to get a chance. Nelson went out on loan the other season, came back. Smith Rowe's gone out on loan. Let's see how he does next season. And the thing I want to say is, I really hope we sign our players before the season starts. Since now we
Yeah.
are given another extra month after the season, I don't really like it when you go for players after we're already like 9 points adrift. I don't normally like that. Let's just start with the
Yeah,
players from the beginning,
exactly.
from the first game.
The second part to Hope's question is why were Pepe and Laka not even named? And I believe they were part of a group of players who were just coming back from holiday. I think in France that COVID has started off again in France to be a concern, and they were the part of the protocol was to keep them quarantined, right?
For me, I don't think that is the case because Aubameyang was also in France for the whole break period. I actually just feel like they were given an extended break, and I felt like the most of those players were exempted from these rules, like even like in the Champions League and stuff. But okay, we'll never know about that. But if since Gabriel is not there, Lacazette is not there, Pepe is not there, it could be the case. So let's just wait and see.
Right, and we have one other question here from Tony. So thanks, Tony, for the question. Glenn, does Pepe have a future in the starting 11 with Saka doing a good job on the right wing?
Yeah, Pepe for me as the number 10. Me, I want Pepe as the number 10. If you're playing a back four, I want Pepe in behind the striker, behind Lacazette. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying it's a bit unfair on Saka because I never include him in my. If we play a back four, I can't see Saka starting. But yeah, he can start on the right side if Willian is on the bench. So Pepe as the number 10. I think this second season is the time for Pepe to break out now.
Okay, great. Listen, viewers, that was the Arsenal Circle Box viewers' question. So we're going to try and do this on the regular. regular occurrence. So if you have an opportunity, drop me a hashtag Arsenal Circle box, and we'll get questions answered for you. I know you got to stay maybe another 5 minutes here, Len. So I'll let you go soon. We'll just get through a few more comments here. Ray Anderson, just 10 watching. That's why if you have an opportunity, share the content, share the link, smash the like button. It's going to push the video up into the suggested viewing on YouTube, and the analytics will help bring more people into the chat box, and we can get up to 15, 20, and grow from there. So we've got 12 likes on this video, trying to get 25 by the end of the stream. So if you haven't hit that like button, just take a moment to do it right now. All this stuff is free, all the content's free, and we're just talking Arsenal stuff here for everyone.
You do a very good job in terms of
Thanks, Glenn. Aubameyang's 2 Wembley goals are wonderful as they were. Both were because of inexperienced young defenders who made elementary defensive errors. Yeah, I mean, that's true, but Aubameyang still has to bend the ball in from 20 yards. He was on the edge of the box there, Glenn. So fantastic finish.
He's talking about Williams and the Chelsea one, maybe Zuma, but he had to create for himself. Like even if it was Van Dijk against Chelsea that time when in that Zuma position, I think he'd have still finished it. He's very, very good.
The WTT, I agree. Clean shop and bring in those players Arteta wants. What's important now, Glenn, is that the club needs to follow through on what Arteta needs. Pretty much within reason, give him what he needs. I'm sure Arteta understands the financial situation. There is money there somewhere, but the club have to back him.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why I'm really worried when people say, let's keep this one, let's also keep this one, let's also keep this. I mean, if we keep El Neni, I'm not judging any of them, but we are not going to finish in the top 4 if you still have the likes of El Neni, and depending on the likes of El Neni, Niles, Nketiah, we're not going to finish top 4. Those players, we're not supposed to put too much pressure on them. They're supposed to be backup players, and we're supposed to be having the likes of, unfortunately, the likes of Ozil, like building the team and stuff, but they're not. They're the older players, so definitely need to strengthen. As I've said, we need to strengthen before the season starts. Need to get 3 players. I'm sure Gabriel will be announced maybe tomorrow. So Aubameyang will be announced.
Yeah, Gabriel will be announced tomorrow, and Aubameyang will be as well. So we're going to be gassed on the back of winning the Community Shield as well, which points to it's going to point to us then being more competitive in the league against the top 4.
Yeah, because I still expect Manu to strengthen their team. Chelsea have definitely improved themselves.
Chelsea are on steroids.
Yeah, City and Liverpool will definitely be there. The likes of Leeds. Leeds is a very good team. Leeds are buying players, and they're going to be a force too next season. Maybe Sheffield, maybe Wolves.
Hopefully,
so
we can sell some of our defenders to Leeds as well. I know Rob Holding, and I think it's time for Rob to move on, as well as we're going to tool up here. Ray Anderson, this is a great comment. I love this when in the comments you give me a little piece of information. It's a two-way street here. Nelson said he went to Arteta and volunteered to take the first one. So that shows confidence. And what we're seeing, Glenn, is players stepping up in this squad.
Yeah, Arteta has brought back that anger, that drive, that passion, and all that courage and fight and all that. We need success. He knows we need success. As he said when he joined, this is not the Arsenal he used to know when he was back at Everton. Losing. We had so many problems last season, as I've said, the yellow card, the discipline, losing Leeds. I had my hair mentioning that we lost a lot of Leeds last season. We couldn't beat the promoted teams. Norwich, Aston Villa, we couldn't beat them. We couldn't score more than 2 goals. So all that I feel like is going to sort that out, and it's going to be a good season next season. We could win the league.
Yeah.
Have some confidence.
You're more optimistic than me, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm usually quite optimistic. I'm optimistic to the point where we could, best case scenario, we can get 3rd place. Worst case scenario, 5th. I see us finishing between 3 and 5. And I'm going to do a competition. By the end of the season, I'm going to ask viewers, and just to remember this, everyone viewing, I'm going to ask all of you to submit your full league finishing from 1 to 20. You've got to get every one of them right to be in with a chance of winning something. So that's something.
Right.
Yeah, you have to have every position from 1 down to 20 correct, and hopefully we'll have enough entrants that someone will actually get it perfectly right and correct. And if you don't get if nobody gets it completely right, then you can be 1 or 2 spots off. You know what I mean? But yes,
Yeah.
stay
You could
tuned for
have
that.
you could have Arsenal in the top 2 and Tottenham in the bottom 3 for start. That could help you gain advantage on everyone else.
So we're gonna have a giveaway at the end of the season, and I'm actually thinking of maybe stopping around Christmas and having also the same situation. So if you have them in position by Christmas, you could win something as well as at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Ray has said Ainsley Maitland-Niles looks so cold and cool at the same time. And Glenn, you let me know when you need to go.
Yeah. Just I'm supposed to go and do the live right now.
So let me know when you're saying goodbye if you are saying goodbye right now, or are you sticking around for a minute or two.
Yeah. 1 minute.
I'm just going to get through a few comments and then we'll finish up here. I have a feeling there's a lot of comments that are going to keep me busy anyway. Tierney's run made the defender on the outside freeze. If he comes to Auba, then pass to Tierney, puts in the box with space, unless you think you give Auba too much space before Xhaka's pass. And here's the thing, I'm talking about mentality. Kieran Tierney is the player. And if you look at that interview that is on Andrew's timeline, I think I'll post it up for people watching on playback, they can watch this. Kieran Tierney was almost cut from Celtic. He was given one more year as a youth player, and he understands what it's like. He was almost going to go back to helping his father working as a roofer. So Kieran Tierney understands what it's like to graft, and I think he's brought that through in terms of his football as well. Stan and Ray Aubameyang doesn't know the meaning. He said it with pride. When David Luiz stepped up to take penalty, I was shouting on TV, telling him not to miss. Yeah, I think we all were. We're just waiting for David Luiz. What is it about David Luiz, Len? He's that type of player that will make mistakes, but he confesses to them, owns up, and then the perfect professional that he is, he comes in. It doesn't affect him in the next game.
Yeah, it's kind of reminds me of Mustafi 2 seasons ago when he used to do mistakes and he just looked like he didn't care about what you people would say to him on Twitter. That comes out as sometimes like someone I appreciate that, but sometimes it comes out like I don't care about what you guys say. I'll do whatever I
Yeah,
need to do.
yeah.
But
And maybe
it's good to see
maybe
that. Right? That's the
maybe as a
leadership we need in the team.
maybe as a professional player, you need to have that mentality that you just need to forget about things and move on because there's always going to be another game.
Yeah, there's always going to be another game, and I also want to see him in a couple of games playing in midfield alongside Shaka. That would be interesting. So that leadership we need. Let's see how we do. And yeah, I
Yeah.
think I need to go now. Thank you to you, to
All
Ray
right. Thanks,
Anderson,
Glenn.
to Tony, to Stan, and Carol, and everyone else. I'm going to do my live right now. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks. I'll maybe visit you in a little bit when I'm done here.
No problem. Thank you, man.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Glenn. Take care. All right. So Ray Anderson, we picked on the weakest link as we should have. That's why opponents sometimes attack up a specific side. We should have made Aubameyang run towards Tierney or pass it to him. He should never have been allowed to cut inside. He couldn't miss. Perfect angle. Martinelli will be like a new signing in January. Carol, I'm really looking forward to seeing Martinelli back in the team. He loves Arsenal, and we have a lot of players now who have love for this badge here. And we can only see the best from Martinelli coming back. He's going to really, really help us score goals as well. Ray Anderson, I'm sure that teams don't set up to play against opponents. Strong side teams set up to get out of team weak side. Another thing I noticed, I think in the second half was Aubameyang is perfectly placed on the left wing here as players get sucked into the middle and towards the right when play develops on the right-hand side. Aubameyang's always there waiting for an opportunity. And there was a couple of times that he had that opportunity in the second half. So I think Aubameyang is more effective on the left-hand side. That's what I'm saying. We paid 26 million for Torreira. When Pepe gets the ball on his left foot, it's always the same thing. He pushed up the right side, then cuts back onto the left. Sometimes opponents do not have an answer for Pepe. I think we started to see, don't waste that tweet, I think we started to see Pepe becoming more and more effective as he's figured things out during the season. So I'm starting to hope, I'm thinking that he will have a big season coming up for us. Robin is like that too. Every player knows what he's going to do, but not all of them knows how to stop him. Martinelli will definitely be a mid-season signing. When we won't go out in January and buy anyone, Martinelli will be that player. Kind of like when Tierney was part of our regular rotation. And I'm hoping also that injuries are kind to us this season. Mavropanos is making more a week than Martinez. Yeah. I hope the club can do right by Emi Martinez. I see a lot of love for Bernd Leno, and why can't we have two goalkeepers that are really, really good as well? We need to ride those two goalkeepers into the season. 50 million clause paid for after January 1st. Who, Tony? I think it's Partey. Carl, let's hope he'll be back in January, as I'm not sure Arsenal will replace any attacker they sell. Quite true. Yeah, Tony was talking about Partey. Martinelli, Saka, and Tierney are our future. Good characters also. Yeah, these are outstanding characters, Carl. The kind of players you're going to be able to build a really, really good team on in the next couple of years. So I think as Arsenal fans, we are starting to see the nucleus of a side coming together. Hopefully, if we do the Partey deal, we could get a good start to the season, albeit against very, very difficult opponents in the first 10 fixtures. If we get through those first 10 fixtures with 16 to 20 points, we'll be in good shape because the last 30 fixtures are not as difficult as the first 10 for us. What about Saliba Gabriel if he signs? I think Gabriel is pretty much a done deal. We've seen him out. He's out house hunting right now, so he's looking for a place to stay. So Gabriel will be announced. Saliba had a bad injury when he was in France. I think it was a metatarsal was broken, and some players were in quarantine. Don't know about William. You're saying 14-day isolation. Yes, Saliba and Gabriel would be great. I think Gabriel will be confirmed soon. 13 likes. We're pushing it. We're getting close there, Ray. Let's try to get to 25 on this video, be it on this live session or be it on playback. Push those likes, please. We're going to try to expand the viewership into bringing more and more people in here. So appreciate it if you would share the link to your friends, people who are Arsenal supporters around the world. The fan base is huge. So let's bring more people into Arsenal fan circle and let's make it a good community here. Some rumors of the players actually tested positive for COVID. It's going to be a situation that we're going to run into. We're going to compress this season into, I think, 4 weeks less than normal because of the European Championships are going to be next summer. And that is going to be take a big toll on players and their joints and all of that stuff. So they are going to need to rest. We are actually going to need to rotate some players. I remember Manchester United over the years, they would give David Beckham 4 weeks off. They would give Ryan Giggs 4 weeks off. They're important players, so they could rest and get some recuperation time throughout the season. One other player was shouting at Zuma that Auba is going to shoot with his right foot, and Auba said he knows that Zuma knew which foot he uses, and that was the famous cup final move, right, that Aubameyang did on Kurt Zuma. You can talk about Chelsea and what they're doing. First of all, I don't think their coach is as good as our coach, so that's one advantage we have. They're going to dispense with all of their young players, so all of their young players are not going to get game time. Kai Havertz is going to come in, Ziyech is going to come in, Timo Werner is going to come in, but they're not all going to hit the ground running. And look at their defense. They have just signed a 35, 36-year-old defender. If Arsenal had done that, we would be ridiculed as well. They don't have a goalkeeper yet, and they don't have decent defenders. So I don't really see where we need to be too worried about Chelsea. We can close the gap on Chelsea and Man United this season, I believe, purely down to the coaching of Mikel Arteta. It will be even worse with this international break. And, I want to give a shout out, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman as well. And a terrible, terrible loss taken from us too early. So our thoughts and prayers here with Chadwick Boseman family and, terrible loss. If possible, postponing international games for after the season would help league play would finish sooner, wouldn't it? Wakanda Forever. That's a nice touch, DWTT. And I really enjoyed Aubameyang's celebration as well. And earlier watching Formula One as well, Lewis Hamilton. I would do all the internationals in the winter during the league's normal break and in the summer. It's just going to be logistically too difficult. Yeah, Ray, it's unusual. I'm going to come across someone who's more optimistic than me. He's saying that we're going to win the league. I'm hoping for between third place and fifth place. I think we can be as good as third. I can see Chelsea struggling. Maybe even Frank Lampard gets fired this season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United have been very, very patient with him, but we've seen that he's not as good as our coach. And if the club can just back Mikel Arteta just a little bit, we can do some things this season. So, I'm optimistic, but Len is more optimistic than me. When are we going to do the predicted league finishes? Yeah, we're going to get into that soon, right? Maybe next week we're going to do that. I want all of you to be involved as well. We're going to go through. I want you to predict the 1 to 20. If you have Twitter, here's the two places that you can submit them to. Twitter at Arsenal Circle or on Gundam News. So the ticker at the bottom will tell you contact Gundam News on Facebook. That's Mahir, my co-host, or contact me at Arsenal Circle on Twitter. If anyone cannot do that, leave it in the comments below. Leave your predicted finish in the comments below between 1 to 20. Let's get them in before the season starts, and we will do a giveaway. Maybe a shirt, whatever you want. Probably a shirt. So let me know. Put your predicted finishes in there. 1 to 20. Yeah, exactly. DWTT. If you're enjoying the content, people, hit the likes. Really, really appreciate the support in the last few weeks as well. It's been nothing short of amazing. So thanks for coming and interacting. We're on 17 likes right now. So if we get 8 more, we'll hit the magic total of 25. So big up to Glenn for coming in. Ray, thanks for enjoying the podcast, especially when you're reading out most of the comments. this is the one thing that I will make that commitment to you all here is want to try to make every one of you feel like you're part of the podcast. So if you're dropping comments, if you're having questions, if you're just interacting with each other, that's great. But I want to sort of showcase all of you. You're all part of this podcast as well, and I'm talking to myself, but not really talking to myself because you're all here, and you're giving me the gas here to keep going. So, Glenn, thanks for joining me. Uh, jump over on Glenn Kindly once we're done here. He's doing a live as well. Thank you, Glenn. So, I see Gundam News is in here. Everything Arsenal. Is Glenn on Twitter? Yes, Glenn is on. Search for Glenn Kitely. That is Kightly. You'll be able to find him. Glenn is on Twitter. Martinelli has trick injury. Don't be surprised if he has to have yearly procedures on his knee. A tricky injury. Yeah. I hope not, Tony. Whereas if you find that Glenn is super optimistic and I'm somewhat optimistic, uh, Tony wants to be optimistic, but it doesn't always come across. Yep. Tony, thanks for giving the link there, Glenn Kitely, to Gunnar Glenn. It's kind of cooled off over here, so I'm wondering what the weather's like with everyone. Um, I know it's gotten a bit colder in England, and yesterday's game was quite cold. Cartilage meniscus injuries often require cleanups. I hear thanks for coming in the chats. Love everyone here. I had to speak to my niece before our bedtime. Good stuff. Got it. Rule said it's difficult with two number one keepers. Cannot be seen anywhere else in the Premier League. I think there's enough games, at least for this season, that we can sustain two goalkeepers through Europe as well. Yeah, gun the news. Our kids do rule the world and our lives. No problem. 18 likes. So big up everyone who's hit the like button. Really appreciate it. If you haven't already, let's get to 20 likes. Hit it. Gun the news means meep meep. Tierney is double the player Chipwell is. Chilwell, yeah. I know it's difficult when you're doing when you're typing, and it could suggested text already populates for you. So I'm getting quite good actually at interpreting what everyone has been saying here. So I don't think we're going to have a winter break. Yeah, we never do in the Premier League. Well, on international duty, they should be training. Hope Man United shit the bed. Excuse the pun. Yes, Rule. Frank Lampard has has a difficult place. He's got to produce results now. They got top four because everyone else was not that great, and that's why I'm pretty sure people are saying the jump from eighth place to top four is going to be difficult. For me, if you're a competent team that is consistent and have a consistency about them, you can get top four. It's really not that difficult. Um, we've just made it very difficult in the past season. Top four is minimum plus winning Europa League would be amazing. It's something we've come very close to winning the Europa League. I hope that Mikel Arteta can grow in the Europa League as well. So we're going to do the final push here. If you can push us up to 25 likes, that would be amazing. And you're all wonderful people here. Mourinho will not see the season out either. So I think with Arsenal, we're going to have a difficult start, and we have to stick behind Arteta. we have to stick behind Arteta and get behind him. We're going to have a difficult start to our season. Let's understand that. Let's give him the room, give him the space to grow with Arsenal. And we get into November and December, our fixtures will be a little bit easier. So, but we can see already there may be turmoil at Manchester United, Chelsea, and Tottenham. And those are the three teams that we're going to be targeting to surge past. Wolverhampton Wanderers as well. The league does not lie. They were better than us last season. So let's see if we can do better than them this season. We were only 3 points off Wolverhampton Wanderers, and surely we can make up the difference because we were at our worst, and Wolves had a very, very good season. Sheffield United had a good season. We've had one of our worst seasons in a quarter of a century. They assembled anything less than top four will mean investment in the squad wasn't as good as it should be. Carol, thank you for your continued support and your comment here. When the channel is smaller and calmer, it attracts less ridiculous nonsense in the comments, as in AFTV and other big channels. Thanks for your support. We want to bring calm supporters in and grow the channel, but not to the point where it's chaotic, Ray Anderson, when you get big and with so much comments, I know you won't be able to read the amount of comments. That's true. I'm going to try to lean a little bit more on moderators. I brought moderators in. We've got Lumberg Camp. We got Darren in there, and we got DWTT who are moderators. Stan the Man also is there. He's a little bit more of a heavy bouncer type of moderator. Likes to throw his weight around a little bit in the comments there. He's probably laughing about that, chuckling right now. But shout out to Stan. He's been a big part of the channel in the last few months, and we'll see him again. He'll be back on. Good point, Carol. Gunnar Glenn. Everybody here has just been amazing supporters of the channel. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, like a huge thank you to all of you as well. You're all who make this channel as well. Arsenal Fan Circle being small allows for a good chat room banter. And Tony will mix it up with the comments as well. Thanks, Dan. This channel will get big. The cream always rises to the top. We do speak sense. We do know what we're talking about. The panel guests know what they're talking about. People in the comments section know what they're talking about. We just need to spread the word, and that's what I'm asking all of you to do. Go out there and be Arsenal Fan Circle warriors and share the content. Let people know about the channel, and by doing that, it's going to help the channel grow. More people will come, and they will find this corner of the internet and see what we're doing here. Arsenal's going to get the future's going to be bright with Mikel Arteta. The team's going to get better. We're going to win more trophies. We're going to get top four next season. We're going to be hopeful. We're going to be talking about league challenges in the next few years. Dare I say it, we're going to be talking about the Champions League. These are the ambitions that Mikel Arteta has. These should be the ambitions that the ownership have. And these are the ambitions that we want to have. We want to be long on this ride, enjoying Arsenal winning games. We lost, I think, 10 games last season in the league. I think we'll lose 6 or 7 this year. And we're going to win 18, 19, 20 games. I'm targeting low 70s in terms of points. So let's all grow together. Arsenal's going to grow. Arsenal's going to get better. We're going to get better. This channel is going to get better. We're going to get bigger. We're going to get more subscribers, more people in the chats. So it sounds like a rant, but it's a kind of a happy rant, and it's a rant that means that we're just going to grow this thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, if you like this channel, I really, really appreciate all the support. But what we got to do is try to spread the word. Hey, there's this little channel called Arsenal Fan Circle. Guy called Ray. He's got a crazy hairstyle, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He's been following Arsenal for 30 years. and it's our passion. Everyone who comes on the panel, and if you're in the chats and you want to come on the panel, hit me up below on Arsenal Circle or talk to Gunded News over there on Facebook. Tell them you want to come on the channel. You don't have to be. You don't have to use the camera. You can turn the camera off and use your audio, so you can actually speak on the channel, and that's absolutely fine as well. And it's all about interacting here, and this is what we want to do. I'm usually not very good going solo, so really, really appreciate all of the backup here in the chat section. It's as if you're all here with me. Top four is doable, depending on players' mindset. We have seen we can beat anyone. Rule. That is, I love the way you just changed your avatar name to One Rule as well. A little pun there. I like it. Top four is definitely doable. Arteta is not standing for anything else. Arteta wants the best out of this club. It would be a real shame if we let Arteta slip out of our grasp here. He's at this club, and coaches don't stay at clubs for very long. We have a 3 to 5 year window, and we have to appreciate Mikel Arteta. When the times get bad, we're going to lose some games. We're going to play away to Liverpool. We're going to play away to Man United. We're going to play away to City in the first 10 games of this season. We have to be prepared for a loss here and there. We're not going to go unbeaten. I think Glenn was talking about that a little bit tongue in cheek. But the mindset is the thing. Kieran Tierney, he came in with that mindset from Celtic, winning attitude, and that's rubbing off on players. Aubameyang's a winner. We've seen his leadership not on the field, but we've seen his leadership off the field. We've seen videos of him putting his arm around Emi Martinez. That is a real captain within the dressing room. He may not be able to do it on the field, but he can do it in the dressing room. David Luiz is the leader. Top four is the goal this season, and top six hopefully is worst case. Definitely. Stan the man, thank you, Ray. Enjoy being a part of Arsenal Fan Circle, and you're a big part of it as well, Stan. So thank you. Right back at you. DWTT, thanks for being a moderator. Everyone has a part to play here. People in the comments, Rule. I'll always try to put people's comments up here. They may get big, it may get too big, but I'm going to ask the moderators if it does get too big to point out questions that I may miss. Tony does a great job as well. And hopefully we tried to go for the record of 17 draws as Premier League record. We tried to do that last year under Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta sometimes as well. Like we said in the video in the podcast here, we're not good enough yet to get that second goal. We need to add that to ourselves this coming season. We need to add that to our arsenal, forgive the pun, and score a second goal rather than getting equalized on. Score that second goal. We can see defensively we're going to improve as well. We've got the defenders coming. So, yeah, we're going to definitely get under 14 draws. And so I want you to all get your pens and paper out and start figuring out where the final positions will be. We're going to have maybe another one where we're going to have you predict how many wins we're going to get this season, how many draws we're going to get this season, how many losses we're going to get this season, how many points we're going to get, how many goals for or goals against. And let's see who wins that at the end of the season as well. So there's a couple of things, our points, finishes, wins, draws, losses, for, against, and then finally the 1 to 20 positions. So we're going to run a couple of competitions, and we will unbox everything at the end of the season and have some fun with that. Thank you, Stan. The fifth Beatle, that's me. This is my COVID hairstyle. I will definitely be getting a haircut. We'll see if it goes a little bit long or a little bit short. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure yet. grow the channel, and Ray can finally afford a barber. I've people will say that YouTubers only get into this game to make money. Well, that's not the case. You would have to have thousands and thousands of subscribers. You would have to monetize. Um, that was not my intention. That is not my intention to do that. This is my hobby. Um, the people who come on to help me in the panel and give their input. Our Arsenal supporters love the club as well, as much as me, if not more, in some cases. Um, I've come across some fanatical supporters. Over the years, I've been able to compartmentalize how I deal with defeats. We all have dealt with it in our own way. We have to understand we have younger supporters. When I was younger, it used to piss me off a little bit as well, losing a game. But I've learned, and we've had to learn with Arsenal being our club over the last 10, 15 years. We just haven't been that club who's been going for Premier League titles or even doing well in Champions League past, say, the quarterfinals or semifinals. We have been that club, so we've had to compartmentalize it and understand who we are and the club that we are. Hopefully, we are all so hopeful with Arteta, Mikel Arteta, that he can do it. And yeah, it's not my intention to monetize. Has not been my intention. Maher and I got together to get this thing going because we had viewpoints. We always say we're fans just like you, and everybody in the comments here are just as important as the people up here on the panel. Um, like I say, I have people who are subscribing who watch the channel throughout the week. It's part of what they do. They do it during their commute. I'm going to be looking to maybe put it up on Spotify, do a couple of other things with the channel as well, so you can make it part of your week. Um, but I really appreciate you coming to YouTube and checking out. There are people who want to just watch it on playback, don't get involved in the comments. That's absolutely fine. There are people who drop comments, and I really appreciate all of you. And there are people who come and watch us on the live show here. We do Sundays at this time, and we do Thursday nights so we can reach different time zones because we have fans all over the world. They're watching the games at crazy hours, and that's another thing. Like fans, we are all fans. We're all equal all around the world, and I think most Arsenal fans recognize that. And Carl, thank you. Great as always. And I'm sometimes I get a little stage struck as well, and doing so many lives, it doesn't really get any better. So I lean as much on my panel guests as anyone else, and everybody that comes on is great, and everybody that's been part of the channel up to now is and beyond has been amazing. Logging off, family outing. Thanks, DWTT. Enjoy your evening. Come on, you Gunners. And we won the Community Shield. We won the FA Cup. I talked earlier when we were in the quarterfinals, we were come back to the restart. It would be amazing if we just got to the final. That would have been an amazing experience for the players, the young players especially. But we went ahead and we won FA Cup against Chelsea. We outfoxed Frank Lampard, something that I'm immensely proud of under Mikel Arteta. I think it's not really a rant right now, but I'm just sort of saying we need to grasp the initiative with Mikel Arteta because you hear interviews with players saying they're just transfixed when they talk, when they see Mikel Arteta talking to them, they're transfixed by everything he has to say. Kieran Tierney came from Celtic, a huge club in Scotland. But he came to Arsenal and he knew it was a big club. He didn't realize how big it was. And when he went to Dubai, he got to talk about he got to talk to Arteta, and he understood that Arteta was ahead of his time. And these players understand that about this coach, Mikel Arteta, that he's going to revolutionize Arsenal. Let's not be mistaken about that. We're starting to see it. If we get a really prolific striker to go in the central area. Aubameyang for me should stay on the left. He's prolific there. I wouldn't mess with that. If we get a striker going through the middle, if we get our midfield fixed, and we get our those two defenders that we're hoping are going to be good. I'm very, very hopeful William Saliba is the way. It's a lot of pressure to put on a young kid, but we have to also understand that he has to learn on the job. Put Gabriel beside him as well. I think Saliba is going to be the organizer, and I think Gabriel is going to be the tough tackling player, the man marker, and Saliba will drop off a little bit and mop up a little bit like Koscielny and Mertesacker used to do. So for all of that, I'm very, very hopeful. We just need to do a little bit of work in midfield. A little bit disconcerting about Guendouzi and the comments about a clean slate, but I do feel that that issue will be addressed, and we're just trying to keep Guendouzi on the market. Tony said we need a minimum of 5 times as many goals from a midfield. Goals from the midfield is not there enough. And that is a great point, Tony, and hopefully that Willian can add to that. Arsenal are on the verge of a great period. It's how it's handled will let us know how great it will be. This is true, Assemble, and you have also always been true to yourself and spoke. Everyone here in the chat speak their mind, especially Tony, who I can see is bantering me a little bit there. Everybody speaks their mind. It's good banter here. I love the camaraderie in the channel in the chat section. You're all great people, and I really, really appreciate that. I'm just going to put up this banner here to tell you, but you all know that. I've said that before. I think it's here. You're all a great group and a big part of the channel. Share the content if you want and smash the like button. Yeah, so as Stan said, it's interaction. Hit the like button. It means that YouTube know that you're interacting with the channel, and that's what they want. Assembled, you're right. We're getting our team sorted out. We have very, very good players. Every year, it's going to be an evolution. Aubameyang, we're going to have him for 2 or 3 more seasons. But we need to look at refreshing and reinvigorating the team every window. Mikel Arteta and the coaching staff he's bringing in, there's huge optimism there. Our academy is just growing and growing under Per Mertesacker. Now we just need to reorganize in terms of what they're doing upstairs. Edu, I'm quite confident on Edu as well, and Vinay. So that's the last link for me that you're talking about. The board upstairs, the ones that need to get the deals done. But I'm quite hopeful. We got Gabriel in amidst interest from Napoli and maybe even Manchester United. So, look, we are a Europa League team right now. We can't attract the top players. We may not be able to get a Thiago. We may not be able to get an Auba, but we can go and get Thomas Partey. And there are parts of our team, squad members, unfortunately, their association with Arsenal will be coming to an end soon. And that's just business. We got to move them on. I'm not going to hit the 2-hour mark, right, Tony? Ray is going to hit the 2-hour mark and have nobody else to blame this time. Midfield is the priority. Well, listen, I think I've probably lost all of you at this point. Let's take a quick check on the likes. And I'm wondering if we've gotten close to the 25. So let's see what we got here. We are at 17, I think. I could be wrong about that, but 17 is great. Listen, I know there's lots of you to watch on playback as well. The views have been very, very good. Really appreciate it. We're a small channel here. Be the Arsenal fan circle warriors that you are, and go out there and spread the word. Tell them there is a decent, normal-minded Arsenal supporters YouTube channel out there that you can be part of. So tell them to join up, and listen, we'll catch you on the next one. Couple of other sections. Thumbs down too. It seems that all the people on the channel is how shall I say this, mature people. Yeah. Listen, Tony, thumbs down. Stan has said that that's also interaction, and it doesn't actually hurt the channel. So I used to see a thumbs down now and again, but now I don't. It doesn't bother me anymore. So on that note, listen, I'm gonna go. I've probably been talking to myself and talking to you guys for about 45 minutes. I'm gonna go and get a nice drink. Um, the future is bright. The season has started. Um, Submit your top 20 for me. I'll put them in the comment section on this video. It's great to see the same people coming back. Now it's a community. We have the same people coming in, and that's what it is. It's a community of people that when we're winning games, we can all talk amongst each other and say, "Hey, we're winning games. We're pushing up the league. We're stressing out Frank Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Jose Mourinho, and we're pushing those three teams down into the Europa League spots, and that's what we need to do. We're not in a race to beat Liverpool or City this season. Hopefully, we can get top four and challenge those. This time next year, we're talking about challenging um, them and in those positions. But listen, I appreciate everyone for coming in and joining us tonight. We will catch you on the next one. Come on, you Gunners, up the Arsenal. And we just won the Community Shield and the FA Cup in 1 month. Let that